Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight is Monday Night Raw. You may be asking, Tim, why do you have headphones on? You're all here by yourself. What do you need headphones for? Because I'm not by myself. Unfortunately, he's got camera issues or microphone issues. We're not sure exactly what's going on with his computer, but we got Luke here with us, guys. Luke, what's going on? Congratulations on graduating.
College graduate. I'm officially done with college, and man, this semester sucked. I will say that with the fullest of confidence. I will like when it's your last semester of college, your last semester is always the worst. And
Really?
by God, it was awful. No, it was bad. Like so at least for me, I would say it's a little different because like going into my last semester, I was already like done with my major,
Mhm.
like taking classes for my major. So I was basically just doing these like these gen ed classes and like random credit fillers just so I can graduate. Like I was taking a math class that was god awful, two sociology classes, a walking and jogging class, and a bowling class.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I had zero motivation. Like I was like, why am I in school right at this point when I'm already done with my major?
Right. Well, that sounds like me because so I was going to college, I did 2 semesters, and then I was like, I'm going to join the army. So I joined the army, and they're like, so if you join the army, at least this is what it was in 2010. If you join the army and have what is it? 24 credits, you automatically get promoted from a P1 to a P2. So you make more money off the rip. And they were like, let's see your transcript. What are you at? And I was like, I don't know. I'll get it from the school. So I got the transcript. And they're like, oh, you're only at 23 credits. You need 24. I was like, crap. Delay me leaving for the army till August, and I'll take like a PE class over summer. So I wasted my summer taking a PE class. And I say wasted because they didn't even count. I got the credit, but not towards my enlistment because I left a week before the summer grades actually counted on your transcript. I was like,
Really?
damn it. That sucked.
I mean, I took a summer class last summer and I also had my internship as well.
Mm,
So at least my internship wasn't a waste. At least that gave me like motivation. But then like
right.
this semester was like there's a reason why I had to take a step back for the podcast. I was like, geez, this semester sucks. Then I had roommates and everything. Which I know it sounds fun when you have roommates and you have someone to talk to, but at least my roommates, I was like, this sucks.
So
Because I
go
went
for it.
from living on my own at
Mm,
a nice apartment, then I decided, you know what? I never had roommates before. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna live with one of my friends, and we had two like random guys living in the apartment. The two random guys weren't bad. They kept to themselves most of the time, but man, like at least when you have friends, you're cool as friends, but as roommates, you're not as cool together. This is how it was.
hmm.
This really was
Interesting.
how it was.
Interesting because like, I lived on my own, except for, I had the kids, of course, but like we had our own place for a while. And then when the whole thing happened where, new people bought the apartments, they kicked everybody out. And I went and lived with my buddy for like a year before we moved here to Oklahoma. I mean, it was great. I get what you're saying. Like, oh, you're cool friends, but not as roommates. I, I had the opposite where it was like, we were friends ish, but we actually became better friends living together because we got to know each other even better. Cause we were like, friends through another friend. Like we became friends because we had a mutual friend, and so we were kind of pretty good friends. But then living together, he was like, I could rely on him for anything. He could rely on me. So kind of the opposite effect, I guess you would say.
Well, my roommate also had a cat, and the cat would always drag her litter everywhere. So
Oh yeah, he had a cat too. But also, the one good thing about when I lived with him, it was his grandparents' old house that they paid off like a decade ago, so we didn't have to pay rent on anything.
that was nice. I mean,
Right.
I got downgraded because like I lived in the same apartment complex,
Hmm.
like we did, but my bed our I feel like the place is just small though, because like everything was, we didn't have as much space as like my old place, and it was just like,
So here's a
because like
question. How many bedrooms were was the old place?
I lived at.
Yeah, like the one where you were by yourself.
Oh, it was just my room. It was my room. We had a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room. Like it was nice.
Right. So then the other
Like,
place had how many bathrooms or bedrooms?
4.
That's probably what it was. If it felt smaller, it was probably the same size, but the rooms and everything were smaller because they had more
Oh
rooms.
yeah. Okay, we had
Yeah.
2 bathrooms, so me and my buddy, we shared a bathroom. And I mean, the kitchen was bigger. Like we had a bigger like table,
Nice.
but and we had like a small sectional couch,
Okay.
and our bedrooms were like much smaller, so I couldn't really like, I didn't have much like space in my room to like hook up my PC because like everything, because like we had a desk, but like I also had to make room for like my TV, for like a TV as well.
You know what I
So I was
did
like,
here?
what?
Because like I don't really have space to put a TV somewhere because like this wall right here in front of me, my whole desk set up, lights and everything. Then the wall to my right is the closet. There's like 2 closet doors because one door actually goes to the attic, one door goes to the closet. So I can't put a TV up against that wall. Then on this wall, if I put a TV over here, I can't see it while I'm in bed. So you know what I did? I got a projector, which you see right here. And it shines up on the wall over here. So on the closet doors. And so I have a projector up there as my TV.
Really?
That was my solution. That way I don't have to put a TV anywhere and waste space. I just have a projector projecting on the white closet doors. Works great.
I couldn't really mount the TV to the wall because like we weren't allowed to like put nails in the wall or
Well,
anything.
yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't have mounted it. I would have put it on a TV stand. I just got nowhere to put a TV stand in this room with everything else that's already in here. That's why it's just boom, project on the wall. But with all of that, Luke, this past weekend was Saturday night's main event, John Cena's last match. People heard what I said in the moment, not long after the show ended. I got more to say here, but I want to hear what you thought of John Cena's final match against Gunther. John Cena, as they say, giving up with a smile on his face. What'd you think?
I mean, I knew Cena was gonna lose because I was like, if he's, because when he was announced he was facing Gunther, I'm like, they're gonna put Gunther over in this match. They're gonna have Gunther win. At least that's how I thought. Because I was like, oh yeah, Gunther's winning for sure. They're, because I knew when they did this whole last time is now tournament, they're gonna have someone win that John Cena can like put over.
Right.
And I don't know, him tapping out, it did come as a shock to me, but like, oh, the whole smile on his face kind of like, I didn't really catch on to that part.
It was weird.
Yeah, I
The
didn't like
smile was weird.
So here's my thing.
Okay.
I don't think people are upset that he tapped out per se. I think it was more the way they had him do it, where he smiled and then tapped out.
Well, that's on him. And here's the thing. So what I've been reading and hearing people say online is they're mad that they made John Cena give up because his whole gimmick was always never give up. But then he gave up in his last match. So half the fan base that's mad are mad that he tapped. The other half are just mad that he lost. And so here's the thing with all of that. If you watch Cena in the ring, so when Triple H gets up on the apron and they're booing Triple H and they're chanting F Triple H, F Triple H, Cena looks out to the crowd and goes, no, this was on me. This one's on me. Now, when we look back at Sting's retirement in AEW, Sting, for the whole time when they were, hey, your last match is at Revolution, Greensboro, boom. Sting's like, I'm going to lose. I want to lose. I want to lose. And day of, Tony Khan and the Young Bucks put him in a room and said, no, you're going to win. And so it's like the quote unquote tradition is you lose on your way out. Now, the original meaning of that is when you leave one company or one territory to go to another, that's when you lose. You lose because you're no longer going to be with that company. And so the whole thing of you're supposed to lose and you retire is and isn't a thing. And now I've also seen things posted online of, well, John Cena lost when he shouldn't have lost. Other guys got to win their last match, like Triple H. Triple H made Cena lose, but he got to win his last match. And that is the dumbest statement anybody can make, that Triple H won his last match. Triple H did not know that live event in Japan where he teamed with Shinsuke Nakamura was going to be his last match, because he ended up having the heart issues. And so it's like, you can't say the whole Triple H won his last match when he didn't know that was going to be his last match. Now, his last televised match in 2019, he did lose to Randy Orton. And so the whole thing of everyone being mad saying, oh, so-and-so won their last match and so-and-so lost their last match. Undertaker got to win his last match and da-da-da-da-da. I don't think it's a bad thing that Cena lost. Now, my prediction always was Cena should win and then whatever. Gunther would be fine. But I understand them wanting to put Gunther over, because now they're trying to make Gunther as the biggest heel, not just in WWE, but in all of professional wrestling, because of the line. And I think this because of the line that Michael Cole said at the end of the night, and they made sure to replay tonight on Raw. Professional wrestling has just ended sports entertainment. That line was fed to Michael Cole. I don't know if it was by Triple H or somebody else, but that line was fed to Michael Cole. And I think it was by Triple H. This is all hearsay and speculation. By Triple H, because he's trying to tell you, they've been trying to tell you for a year now, we're in the Triple H era. Vince's era was sports entertainment. Triple H is bringing this company to professional wrestling, and he's doing that by getting rid and beating Vince's big number one cash cow, I guess you would say. Beating Vince's boy and bringing in his guy that Vince actually was not a fan of. Because if you remember, when Gunther was in that Survivor Series match where it was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, the rumor was that he saw Gunther in that match and said, who's that guy? He's nothing. And was ready to let him go.
Vince was really like when Gunther went to the main roster, Vince was like, this is the guy you want me to push?
And reluctantly, he did put the Intercontinental Championship on him. Cool. But it's
I'm
like...
pretty sure Triple H is pushing for that, though.
Probably. So it's like saying, hey, the guy that Vince had as the face of sports entertainment, I'm going to beat with the guy that I think is the face of professional wrestling. So that's what I'm thinking all this is. But everybody that's crying and whining, oh, John Cena lost in his last match. Where were you crying and whining at WrestleMania 35 when Batista lost his last match? WrestleMania 26 when Shawn Michaels lost his last match. WrestleMania 24 when Ric Flair lost his last match. Granted, those weren't their last matches because Batista's was, but Shawn came back for that one horrific Saudi tag match. Rick came back and had a whole run in TNA, which was good to great at times, with my favorite segment in all of pro wrestling. I talked about that on Saturday. So it's like
the woo off with Jay Lethal.
Yes, sir. That's my line.
Well, I think for Rick though, the reason why he came back was because he had a lot of money problems. So that's why he went to TNA, and he later admitted he only did that just for the paycheck.
Right, and it wasn't his call to retire WrestleMania 24. That was a Vince call, anyways. So, just like back in the day when Vince tried to retire Macho Man before he was ready to retire. Vince tried to retire Hogan before he was ready to retire. And that's why all those guys jumped to WCW, especially Macho Man. Because Vince was like, oh, this guy's old. We're going to make him a commentator going forward. He's not going to wrestle anymore. And Macho Man was like, I could still go. And he went for another decade in WCW. But regardless, it's like everyone's complaining that Cena lost. But you're not complaining about other guys that lost their last match, other guys that lost on the way out. And it's like, I get it. It's a different era. It's a different time. You don't have to lose on your way out anymore. It's not that big of a deal. It's not the old school thing to do. But from everything that I've heard, Cena was the one that wanted to lose. Cena wanted to put somebody over on the way out. Just as he was made by a vet. Granted, it wasn't Kurt on the way out, but he was made by coming in and taking on a veteran. He wanted to face somebody that's going to be around for a while. How old is Gunther? And make them something. Gunther, how old is Gunther? Gunther's 38. So essentially, if he goes,
He's 38.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that old.
No, but remember, there was a long time where he didn't want to sign with WWE because he didn't want to live in the United States. There was a long time where he would just fly in to do indie dates, but he didn't want to live here. So like WWE courted him, or Triple H at least courted him for a while. And then when they did NXT UK, they were like, oh, you can still live in the UK and work for us. He's like, oh, okay. And then they eventually enticed him to come to NXT, do shots there, and then eventually enticed him to move to the States. So, yeah.
Yeah, he eventually became a citizen in the United States.
Mm-hmm. But there was a long time where he was just adamant against, I'm not moving to America. But if he goes as long as Cena's what, 48? No, if he goes as long as Brock's almost 50. He can have another, especially with the style that he does, he can easily go another 8 to 10 years at the top. So,
yeah.
Like, I don't.
He's probably gonna
go.
Like he'll definitely win a few more world titles.
Easily win a few more world titles. So it's like, for all the people that are complaining that John Cena lost, you're complaining now, but in 2-3 weeks, you're not even going to be talking about it. So what's the big deal? He lost. Okay, cool. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, I want to say thank you for joining us here on Twitch. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. Excuse me. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, you can also help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos when we go live and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comment section. You get access to our graphics packages and so much more. Finally, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game or you're buying an old game and becoming a free gamer, getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Right now, they've got a lot of free games going out as well. They've got Kim Kardashian in Fortnite. We got Winterfest coming in Fortnite as well. So go to the Epic Game Store, see what they got, a bunch of sales, a bunch of free stuff, and use our code at checkout, PWU Unlimited. That's PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, I do want to say, if any of you have seen the leaked first teaser for Doomsday, please don't put it in the chat. We don't want to spoil it for anybody. I think the teaser that came out today that got leaked is official because Marvel's been pulling it and copyright claiming it from Twitter. So I believe it's real. We'll see how it all does go by Thursday when Avatar comes out and is supposed to air before it. I think I'm going to see it on Thursday. I might go see Avatar on Friday. I'm not sure yet. So if you guys have seen that or read about it or anything, please don't put anything in the chat to spoil for anybody. I will be doing a breakdown or talking about it, like a react kind of thing, once it's official later this week on the Timmy Buddy channel. I'm going to start doing more stuff like that, talking about movies and like mainly like Marvel movies and DC stuff and whatnot over there on the Timmy Buddy channel. So keep an eye out for that. I'm still working out how I want to do it, but I want to do more stuff like that over on that channel as well. But we got Monday Night Raw to talk about. And a quick thoughts, Luke? What do you think of Raw overall?
I thought I thought Raw was a decent show. I mean, the beginning of it, which can we go into the beginning real quick?
Well, yeah.
I do feel like the beginning of it, them having Gunther come out at the very beginning was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfect. What he did was really good because it's just him just accept just embracing everybody's booing him. Like that was perfect.
I also really liked, and we'll talk about the whole Gunther stuff here in a moment. I like that they basically got him in there and then told us he's gone. Like said, leave the building. So that way, we're not thinking throughout the entire rest of the show, oh, is Gunther going to do something else? What else are we going to get with Gunther? What's Gunther going to do to build up his going forwards? No, it was Gunther came in, talked shit, and left. So
I am curious to know what they have for Gunther like going forward because like I don't think he's going to win the Rumble.
Mhm.
He's not going to fight for any world title at Mania. Honestly, what I can see them doing is what if they had him face Brock at Mania and like they had that's when Brock would like hypothetically like retire if
So
2026 is the rumor year for Brock to retire.
the Brock rumor is SummerSlam retirement. He'll do like a half a year and then retire at SummerSlam. Also, I want to address Fonzie in the live chat. They are not filming next week's Raw tonight. They're actually filming not this week, but next week, the December 26th SmackDown. So, whole convoluted thing here. I'm going to read this from Fightful. This is how I wanted to kick this off, just in case anybody was curious. I had it here and then I lost it. Give me 2 seconds because it's a whole thing on what they're filming tonight because they're giving everybody next week off basically. And so Fightful and Wrestle Votes did reveal the following. It states, quote, tonight's WWE tapings could be a little unusual. Last week, Sean Ross Sapp reported that the December 15th Hershey WWE date was actually going to be a double taping. That was also revealed actually first by the Wrestling Observer. Anyways, WrestleVotes reports that WrestleVotes reports on WrestleVotes Live that the SmackDown element of those tapings are actually going for the December 26th show. So they're filming next week's SmackDown tonight. And then so they were supposed to film that before tonight's Raw. This is all wacky and out of sorts. Before Raw went on the air, they were going to film stuff for next week's SmackDown. Then on Friday, they're going to do a live SmackDown and film things for next week's Raw. So both shows next week are pre-tape shows. So they're not filming next week's Raw tonight. They're filming the next week's SmackDown. It's all kinds of weird and goofy. I don't get it. But yeah, that's what they're doing in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And then they're supposed to be back live in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, I want to say. But they got like holiday tours and all kinds of things. And so they'll be back on the road, I want to say on Sunday, the 29th or 28th, I mean, because that's when the holiday tour kicks off in Baltimore, I think. So, yeah, it's a whole convoluted situation, how they're filming it. But they're just filming a bunch of content that's going to be for the next couple of weeks, basically.
I see.
Huh?
I see.
Yeah. So, as far as Raw does go, we get a big video package highlighting and recapping Saturday night's main event, mainly the John Cena stuff. We then get flashes from John Cena's career. We see him locked in the sleeper hold. They include the thank you Cena chants from the crowd as the video plays with him walking up the ramp saying it's been a pleasure to serve you guys all this time. He salutes and then he fades to him walking off. Then we get a shot of the arena and we hear Bana, Bana, and out comes Gunther. Gunther comes out with absolutely the just biggest amount of heat you can have. They're booing the crap out of this guy. They're chanting, "You tapped out." They're booing even more. They're booing louder and louder and louder. And Gunther states, quote, "I did what I said I was going to do. I made John Cena give up. And when he gave up, he tapped out like a little bitch." And I'm like, oh, shit. Yep, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. Gunther then continued to smile as he left to a chorus of boos. The cameraman followed him, walking to the back. Then he jumps back into the ring. He gets up on the apron or on the ropes. He's like, yeah, I beat John Cena. Then he leaves. He goes to the back and he bumps into Otis and Tozawa. Otis asks if Gunther felt good to rub it in. Gunther said that he did, with a smile on his face. Gunther then bumped into R-Truth, who said, you, Gunther, are a piece of trash. And Gunther's like, okay, and he smiles. Adam Pearce then comes up and was all pissed off, going, really? Did you really have to go out there and do that? That's what you wanted the time to speak about tonight? He's like, that doesn't make you a general. That makes you an asshole. Get out of here. You're done for the night. Go. And Gunther's like, I don't got to do anything? Sure, I'm out. He goes to leave the arena. He goes to his car that looks like it's got the windows iced over, or maybe there's snow on it. I don't know. And AJ Styles is sitting there up against it. They kind of go face to face, but didn't say anything. Gunther gets in the car, rolls down the window. He says, AJ. AJ kind of looks over at him and goes, you can't see me. And drives off. Gunther is the fucking man. Gunther is the best. I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again here. Gunther, I think, is one of, if not the best right now, big men and heels, not just in WWE, but in all of professional wrestling. Look, what did you think of all this from the time Gunther came out to the time he left the building, essentially? It was perfect for me.
I thought it was perfect. I mean, if you have a guy who's getting like poured in booze from the crowd like that, you know he's doing a good job as a heel.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell the louder they boo, the happier he is.
Oh yeah, that just knows that, yeah, he's doing a good job as a heel, which is what you want.
And the other thing is, in my opinion, it's not like, oh, they found this guy and they want to try to get him over as a heel. No, this guy has already gotten himself over as a heel and is fantastic at what he does. He is great on the mic. He is great in the ring. He has found his character and plays it to a perfect T. I don't think Gunther could be any, like, there's guys where you go, oh, that guy can't be any better because he's just not all that great. He's hit his ceiling. I don't think Gunther can be any better because he's so perfect. Like, Walter Hahn has perfected the Gunther character to one of the greatest there is today. But also, what do you think of this Gunther AJ tease? Was that we're just going to get a Gunther AJ match soon? Or are they teasing, telling us Gunther's also going to retire this bloke?
They're going to turn this man to the legend killer.
Well, here, instead of taking Orton's moniker and calling him the legend killer, you can call him the career killer because he retires guys. He kills your career.
He retires AJ. Well, if he retires Brock at SummerSlam or wherever Brock is ready to retire.
Heck, what if Jericho comes back and he retires Jericho? Now, here's a question on that. If Jericho comes in and does a quote-unquote retirement tour in WWE, do you think there is any possibility that he does his whatever year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever they sign him to, but then goes and actually has his final match in AEW? You think that's possible?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I could totally see Tony Khan just being like, just offering a crap load of money just to have one final match in AEW, just to be like, oh, we got the final match out of Chris Jericho and WWE didn't.
Here's the other thing. Say they sign Jericho to a 3-year deal. And so he comes and he's in and out. You know, he's got his other schedule. They let him work a reduced schedule like guys like The Miz and Randy Orton and this and that and whatnot. But what if that 3 years ends, he has his last WWE match, and then WWE goes, all right, now we're going to pay you to stay on under contract as a quote-unquote legend or ambassador like John Cena, so he can't go to AEW and have one last match, so he can't go over there and be like, and so Tony can't do the whole, hey, we got him for his actual last match. I think that's possible as well, that they give him a buttload of money to not go to AEW, basically.
I could see it.
So
If honestly, one thing to really think about, if Chris Jericho like does have one final match in WWE, who's his opponent?
I think it's gonna be more than one match. Like he's not gonna come in and do one match. He's gonna come in and do a run. But
No,
who?
like during the run though. Like
Oh,
let's say
like
like
at the
it
end of
comes
it.
down to the final. It comes down to the end of it. Who would be his final opponent?
That's a tough one because it would be babyface Jericho, right? You think?
I would guess so. Yeah.
Man, like right now, all I can think of is it should be Gunther, but I don't know. I think we just got to see maybe who's
Randy.
No. The thing is, like, we have to see quote who's on the trajectory of up, who is who is up there now as a heel, and who's not a champion. Because I don't think he goes in and faces a champion in his final match. So it's like maybe it's Braun Breaker if he's not the champion. Maybe a Bronson Reed. Heck, Logan Paul.
A CM Punk. CM Punk.
I don't see CM Punk going heel at all. That's the thing. They should let him do one.
Like, what if they did like a babyface versus babyface thing? Like, what if they had Jericho choose and he said, "I want CM Punk"?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Punk and Jericho did have a great feud back in the day. Remember Jericho dumping alcohol all over him?
Or like he made him, or gave him a liquor basket and they tried to make him do like a say the alphabet backwards on live TV.
Yep.
I remember that time. That because like Jericho, he was gone from WWE from like late 2010 to like early 2012.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because he took a year off to tour with Fozzy.
Yep.
Because I remember he wasn't even in the 2K12 game.
Really? That I don't remember.
He was not in WWE 2K12
Interesting.
because he wasn't under contract with WWE in 2011. Because remember he like, I think it was late 2010. He was written off WWE television by like Randy Orton like punching him in the head.
I remember that.
And then he like took a year off. He was under contract with WWE because so in that meantime he was just touring with Fozzy. And then he came back, I believe, in early 2012.
Okay, gotcha. But
I think I don't know.
Right, but yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see, if we get multiple people retiring in WWE in 2026, because we already know AJ said I'm done in 2026, and we know within the world of professional wrestling in 3 weeks we got Hiroshi Tanahashi's last match at the Tokyo Dome Wrestle Kingdom, and they have confirmed him and Okada are main eventing. So
As they should.
Mm-hmm. Now that's one where I think, and I said I thought Cena was going to win and he didn't win. I think Tanahashi wins just because, it's the culture's different over there. A lot of times you see Japanese guys win their last match on their way for retirement, but also I don't see them having him lose to a AEW guy, if that makes sense, because Okada's now an AEW guy. So I don't know.
Well, even if Okada loses, it's not really going to affect him, especially if it was a New Japan match, since he's not really like a New Japan guy anymore.
Okada will be fine to lose. I just don't think they would have Tanahashi lose to a non-New Japan guy, because you would want to put over a New Japan guy, just like you were saying earlier. They wanted to put Gunther over to build him more for the future. Well, you're not going to put over somebody that's not even signed to your company. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like if it was the Nakamura match, which we heard that did get discussed. They did try to make it happen, and it just couldn't happen. I don't know how far in discussions that went, but like Okada was number 2 choice. And I think they also maybe talked to Naito, but he's too banged up right now. And it wouldn't have been as a good match. But man, if they could have got Nakamura as Tanahashi's final opponent, that would have been awesome. He would have been Great Muta's final and Tanahashi's final. That would have been so cool. But with that, we see people arriving at the building. The Vision, Stephanie Vicare, Ivy Nile, Creed Brothers, and CM Punk. Speaking of the Vision, I don't think I've asked you. What are your thoughts on Logan Paul being actual like member of the Vision.
Even though I don't like Logan Paul, I think he fits in the Vision pretty well.
I said the same thing. He's a perfect fit in this group. He works with them so well.
I
But
mean,
go for it.
you know, I could see what if Braun Breaker loses at like that Raw, like was it day one episode of Raw? Is that what they call it?
Well, it's the 1 year Netflix anniversary.
What if Braun Breaker lost that, and then at the Rumble they did Punk versus Logan Paul for the world title?
I don't see that, but I do see Breaker not winning. I don't think Breaker wins. I don't think Breaker wins on January 6th, but I think he wins the title at Mania. I think that's a very, very likely possibility.
Do you think he main events either night of Mania?
Oh, for sure. I think we could see Punk beat him. He then goes on a run and either wins the Rumble or the Chamber, and then faces Punk again at Mania, but beats him this time. Basically going, I saw what you did last time. I know your weaknesses now because I've been in the ring with you one-on-one. I could beat you this time, and he does.
So you think they're gonna do another Jey Uso where he said, "I finally know your weakness. I know how to beat you."
Kinda.
They did the same thing with Jey Uso
Yeah, I
last
know.
year. They had him face Gunther at Saturday Night's main event. He lost. Then Jay was like, "All right, I know your weakness."
I mean, I didn't think about it like that because I totally blocked all that out of my mind because it kind of was crap, but I could see
It
it.
turned into crap when the only reason why it turned into crap because they had him lose to Gunther just so Gunther can face Goldberg for the world title.
Yeah. But
That was the only reason why it turned into crap.
But did you think Jey Uso as the world heavyweight champion was all that great anyways?
It was a very lackluster run.
Despite what his daddy said, oh, you should have booked my boy better. I don't know about that. He's nothing more.
Well,
I hate to say it, but Jey Uso's just an entrance. On his own is just an entrance.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what saved I don't think Jey Uso, like, it wasn't fully Triple H's idea. I can't remember who writer said that. They said it was shown in Unreal.
Yeah, no, it was Michael Hayes. It was like, hey, what if we go with Jey Uso? The Yeet is so over right now. What if we go with Jey Uso? It was Michael Hayes to push for it. Triple H is like, they wouldn't expect it.
Honestly, like, what saved Michael Hayes so much in that position was that triple threat match, that main event night one. That's what saved him.
Speaking of Unreal, they have announced that season 2 of Unreal does come out on January 20th. And we do know that many wrestlers have been in the last couple of weeks filming interviews for the show. I want to say Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Penta. I could get you the list right here. Hold on. Unreal season. It is. Where is it? Because it was revealed recently. Like, hey, a bunch of guys are filming stuff for Unreal. So if say, like, for instance, like one of them was Penta's doing interviews for Unreal. Does that mean we're getting a storyline, a Penta storyline in this new season? I don't know. But what is this? I didn't see this. This is from Netflix themselves. Okay, it says, what storylines will be featured in season 2? WWE Unreal Season 2 makes its return to the writer's room and follows up on superstars on the road to SummerSlam. We're getting things, it sounds like, from Mania, where season 1 ended, to SummerSlam. Which superstars will be featured in season 2? Here we go. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll, R-Truth, Io Sky, Naomi, Chelsea Green, Penta, and Lyra Valkyria. Unreal Season 2 will be 5 50-minute episodes. What was the first one? 6 episodes, I want to say? Or was it 5 episodes? No, it was 5. The first season was 5 episodes as well. So, I liked Unreal. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't think it was all that great. Some people didn't want to believe that any of it was real. But there was like bits and parts and aspects that were and weren't. So we'll see. We'll see. You got any thoughts on this upcoming season of Unreal?
I mean, I don't I didn't really watch the first season. I think I watched half of the first episode. I remember seeing clips of them like doing the John Cena heel turn, and there was like the producer who was like it was Triple H telling like the director like tell him to do a wide shot or
Yeah.
everything.
Well, because that was not rehearsed beforehand. And so Triple H had to direct it on the fly because they tried to keep it such a secret that nobody knew how it was going to go down. So basically, Triple H had to direct it because it was like him and the guys in the ring knew what was going to happen. And maybe like the producer of the segment. So that was they kept it secret.
Well, yeah, something like that. You have to keep it secret.
Yep. So as far as Raw does go, we did have our first match of the night. It was tag team action with the Usos taking on the New Day. Jimmy and Jay entered. They did the run it back, but when they tried to do the run it back, the New Day would interrupt. The New Day had control early on ahead of a commercial break. Jimmy Uso made a comeback as soon as we returned from that break, and Grayson Waller caused some distraction. Wade Barrett kept making a joke on commentary stating that Grayson Waller is so loud that he doesn't even need a microphone for everybody in this building to hear him. Jay made the hot tag at one point and missed the stinger splash. Collided head first with the ring post. He bounced back and hit Xavier Woods with a super kick for a 2. Barrett credited Jay's, quote, Samoan head for absorbing the damage there. Jay followed this up with a dive, flying crossbody, got a 2 off of it. Then this led us to our next commercial break. When we returned, New Day was in control. Jay began his comeback when they returned, but when he was tripped up by Waller, who was kicked out by the referee. The Usos then handed out super kicks to Woods and Kingston before hitting Woods with a double splash for another near fall. Kingston then shoved Jay into the steel steps, and Woods followed this up with a tornado DDT to Jimmy on the apron. The New Day then hit their double team finisher on Jimmy, but Jay broke it up. Jimmy then came back with some super kicks before Jay nailed Woods with a spear on the outside. Jimmy speared Kingston in the ring, and the Usos hit a 1D to pick up the victory. Jay pinned Kofi. I'm not a big fan of all these guys using the spear. Like, that's Roman's move. Why did Jay start using it? I don't understand that. But it's like, okay, Jay's going to do the spear too. Fine, whatever. But now Jimmy's doing the spear all the time. It's getting a little like, that's the Samoan move now? All the Samoans need to be doing the spear? I don't know. But overall, it was a 17.5-minute match that was kind of just there. It was fine. It had an okay finish, but I felt like there was nothing special about the match. And they tried to make it special afterwards where they go, oh, the Usos got the win. They should go for the tag titles. What? After one win? No, they need to beat a couple more teams. But Luke, what did you think of this match?
I mean, the match was all right. Do you think they actually go back? Eventually, they'll go back to the old Usos theme song, not just use Jay's theme for this?
No, because the Yeet. It's got the perfect rhythm for the Yeet. And it basically is the old, well, not the old Usos theme, but it's basically like the Usos theme before the split. It's basically the same song, if I'm remembering correctly.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like if they're using this song, then it's gonna make Jimmy like worse.
But wasn't it kind of like the same song anyways? Where they're like they said the day one stuff. It's just the difference is like they say like, what was it? Oh, there's something in it like
down since day one-ish.
Yeah, they said that in the old song, but no, because they do the whole. There's like the lines where they keep saying "Man, if Jey Uso with your hair," like they do that throughout it as well. So I don't know. Maybe they re-edit it to say the Usos in your house or something like that, or in your city, however it is. But yeah, I think they keep this one because it works right. It works good with the entrance.
We'll see.
So moving forward, we did get a confirmation of another match on the January 5th edition of Raw. The women's tag team titles will be on the line when Asuka and Kairi Sane defend against the team of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Speaking of the Kabuki Warriors, there's a pre-taped video. They basically, I love how they have Asuka do all these promos in Japanese, yet Asuka's actually almost a perfect speaking. She can speak English almost perfect. So I don't know. Because they're heels, it gets more heat on them that they won't speak in English. Anyways, there's a pre-tape video. They accused Io of betraying them. They had Kyrie do the thing of, but we love you, Io. Come back to us. Why'd you choose Rhea? And then Asuka said that they are going to retain on January 5th. Who do you think wins this match? You think Kabuki Warriors retain, or they actually put the tag titles on Io and Rhea?
I can see them putting tag titles on Io and Rhea.
I can too. So during the break, Byron Saxton interviewed Dominic Mysterio, talked about John Cena's retirement, and said, hey, I'm happy to say that I'm the last person that beat John Cena for a title. That makes me not just the greatest Mysterio of all time, not just the greatest AAA Mega Campeon of all time, but also the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. I've got all this gold, and Raquel is going to bring even more gold to the Judgment Day tonight. We then go to the back, where we see the Vision. Logan Paul was gushing over Bronson Reed and what he did to LA Knight last week. Braun Breaker then shows up and tells them that Knight is gone. We need to now focus on CM Punk. Logan's like, yeah, we do. But we also got help from the Masked Man. So what if the Masked Man comes and helps us? And like every time the Masked Man is mentioned, Bronson Reed gets more and more mad. Or Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker gets more mad. Like, I don't need this Masked Man. Paul Heyman then comes in and says, I don't know who the Masked Man is. Don't ask me. We got a lot on our plate. You got things to worry about. You got Ray tonight. And if the Masked Man shows up, the Masked Man shows up. Whatever. Breaker then pulls Heyman to the side. And basically he was like, we need to take out Punk tonight. We need to go after Punk and we need to lay him out. And Paul's like, is that really the right thing to do? And Breaker thinks, we're going to weaken him. We're going to hurt him to where it's going to be easy for me to beat on January 5th. But Heyman goes, what if we hurt him too much? What if we hurt him to the point where he can't make it to January 5th? Then what? You lose your title shot. We need to keep him healthy so that way he has no excuse to not be there for the match. And Breaker wasn't thrilled with this, but he understood. Logan then claimed, hey, I'm down for anything, but I got to go get ready to face Ray. So, I love how we're seeing, I guess you would say the inexperience of Braun Breaker, where he's just like, I got to hurt the guy. I got to hurt the guy beforehand so that way he's weak. But then Heyman coming in with the knowledge of you don't want to give people excuses on why they don't show up. You don't want to give someone an excuse on why you don't get your match, why you don't get your title shot. You hurt him too bad, then he doesn't get cleared, because look what happened after War Games. He wasn't cleared for 2 weeks. What if that happens again and he's not cleared for January 5th? There's no guarantee. He's basically telling Braun Breaker, there's no guarantee that if he doesn't show up on January 5th because he's hurt, that they're just going to push your match back and you get it at a later date. If the match doesn't happen on January 5th, it may be your only opportunity for now. So, Heyman with the wise man with the little wise words. What'd you think of all this, Luke?
It was an interesting segment. I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You're good.
How long do you think they're kind of teasing that maybe like hypothetically Braun Breaker could split from Paul Heyman, down the line?
I mean, eventually, of course, but I don't think anytime soon. I think
I can honestly see that. What if?
Okay.
What if, hypothetically, not, I wouldn't say by Mania, but let's say SummerSlam, Braun Breaker loses the title and Paul Heyman turns on Braun Breaker.
Oh yeah, so that was gonna be my question to you. Is he still with Heyman when he wins the world title?
I mean, I know the whole rumor was Seth, if Seth never got injured, he was gonna lose the belt at WrestleMania and then probably have Paul Heyman turn on him.
Yes, so the it's more than a rumor now. It's kind of been confirmed that what was supposed to happen is what we got when Seth got hurt. It was supposed to be Seth was going to go into Mania, defend the title against Roman Reigns, lose the title, and then the Vision see him as weak and turn on him, kick him out because he's not needed anymore because he doesn't have the belt. So that was supposed to be the plan. They had to fast track that, but now that Seth is, doing his rehab and everything, there's a chance that Seth, because at first it was, Seth may be out till after Mania. But now there's a slight chance Seth could be back in time for Mania. We just don't know yet.
I mean, I would kind of wait. I would have his return be after Mania.
I think it depends. If it's going to be like within a few weeks, like 3 to 4, wait. But if he can come back like a whole month in advance, then I'd have him come back in time for Mania so he doesn't miss Mania and you have that big name on the card. I mean, heck, for all we know, what could happen is Braun loses on January 5th, wins the Rumble 3 weeks later, and says, Punk, I'm coming for your ass, and I'm going to beat you this time. Well, leading up to Mania, Seth returns, lays out Braun Breaker. Braun's all pissed off, wants to fight Seth, but he's already, worried about Punk at Mania. Then something happens with Punk and Seth, and then it becomes a triple threat maybe. That's just a thought that maybe we get Braun, Seth, and Punk for the world title at Mania. Granted, it's another triple threat where they're just replacing Roman with Breaker, but who knows?
I mean, it's a tough one. I
Yeah.
mean, if it's 4 weeks before Mania, just have him wait till like after Mania and have him do like a face off with Braun Breaker if Braun Breaker wins the world title.
So here's my thing. I want to look at the WWE schedule leading into Mania. When is the Chamber pay-per-view? Like, how far out is that? Whoa, hold on. I did not notice this. Hold on. I'm going to pull this up on the screen really fast. This is actually kind of cool. You know, on WWE's website where you go to the Superstars page and like they have the graphic at the top that shows a bunch of different superstars?
Yeah.
They changed it. You'll never guess what it is. This is actually kind of cool. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up on the screen.
I can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't at all? Not on Discord?
Not on Discord, no.
Oh.
Well, your camera's not on my end because I'm on my phone.
That's weird that you can't see it. You should be able to see it. Interesting. What if I do this then? What if I share my screen with you? Now can you see it?
I can see it now, yeah.
You see it? I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
Hold on. 2 seconds. Boom. They've changed it to all versions of Cena. So we've got like Ruthless Aggression Cena, US Champion, Word Life Cena, World Title, also Loyalty Respect Cena. Then we go into purple and yellow Cena. We go orange and green Cena. Then we got the You Can't See Me black shirt Cena, NWO Cena. Then we go into the beginning kind of this last run, like when he came back at that Money in the Bank, 2021 against Roman. So we have that Cena. Then we have the heel world champion Cena, and we have IC champion Cena. That's actually kind of cool. I didn't see that previously. I wonder how long that's been up there. I haven't seen anybody post about this either. That's kind of cool. Stop sharing screen. All right. But as far as what was I going here for? Oh, when is Chamber? The Chamber is February 28th. Oh, that's like a month and a half. Yeah, no. I thought it was closer. So let's say maybe if he can come back by Chamber Seth, but no. I don't see Chamber being possible. Trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, no, that's about it. Ooh, WWE may have put themselves in a hole here. Very tricky predicament. So on their website, advertising for WrestleMania, the night 1 graphic is all the women. The night 2 graphic is the men. Fans are going to take that literal and think, oh, night 1 is main evented by women, night 2 main evented by men. And then when it isn't, fans are going to get mad. Like if it isn't.
I know for Well, I know. Remember that? It was WrestleMania 39 when like some people were pissed that like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair was the night one main event. Then like someone in media asked Triple H, like, how come the women didn't main event night one? And then he was saying, well, the main event Mania should always be the bigger story.
Yeah, that's 100%. Whatever the biggest story is, should be the main event, regardless of gender, race, or anything of the sort. It shouldn't be, well, a woman has to be on this one night and men have to be another night, or this, that, blah, 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 blah. It should just be whatever is in the fan's eye, whatever's getting the biggest fan reactions should be the main event. And at that time, it was Cody Roman and then everything going on with Sammy and KO. Those were the things getting the biggest reaction at the time. Those are the things you're going to put in the main event. Now, granted, is the night one main event a real main event? I don't see it as such. I still say that, and I get it. You're a WrestleMania main eventer. If you main event night one, whatever. The real main event is always going to be night two, because if it is a one night WrestleMania, that night two main event is what's going to main event the one night Mania. So that's just my thing. I still say it's more prestigious to be that night two main event, because that's the real most important match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Same goes for the 2-night SummerSlam. When's Rumble going to go 2 nights? Do you think Rumble ever goes 2 nights?
It should not. It really should not. We already have Mania and SummerSlam going 2 nights. We don't need any more shows going 2 nights.
Right.
We really don't.
I mean, New Japan tried that with Wrestle Kingdom. That only lasted a couple years, and then they said, nope, never mind.
I mean, do you think SummerSlam should go 2 nights? I don't think it should.
I think it's fine. It's a big enough show, and if it's going to be in a big stadium anyways, why not? Like, SummerSlam is a big enough show and a big enough weekend to be 2 nights. But it's like, I don't think Survivor Series should. I don't think Rumble should. Money in the Bank, I've heard people say, why not Money in the Bank? No, it's fine. So moving forward, Io and Rhea were coming down to the ring. They were walking down. Once they got to ringside, Rhea kind of awkwardly looked at the crowd, and there was Asuka in the front row. She missed Rhea in the face, and Rhea, I don't know if Rhea did this on purpose, she like whips her head back and forward right as Io shoots the mist, so most of it just gets in her hair. I'm like, ooh, that's a good way to kind of block it, but she still sold it like she got it all on her face. So Kyrie noticed, or not Kyrie in a second. Io notices this and goes over to check on Rhea. She then turns to look at, oh my God, Asuka and Kyrie in the crowd, when Kyrie jumps off the barricade and knocks her down. They then get in the ring. They're beating down Rhea. They set her up for the insane elbow. And Io jumps in the ring, jumps on top of Rhea, and takes the elbow to the back. Officials then come down and get everybody separated. They help Rhea. They get her to the back. She's got a towel on her face, and she's crying that her eyes hurt. I thought this was a good segment that it felt, what's the word I should use here? It felt like, it almost felt unscripted, I guess you would say, if that makes sense. It felt like, a spur of the moment kind of flip of the script kind of thing. It didn't feel like one of those heavily scripted, the women come down to the side of the ring. They know that the heels are going to attack them, so they slowly, like, it didn't feel like they slowed down to get into their spot, and then they like set up for their spot. It was just, it all felt very natural and spontaneous, I guess you would say. It didn't feel overly scripted. What'd you think?
I agree with you. I mean, it wasn't overly scripted.
So we're over an hour into this show, and we're barely getting to match 2. It's the women's Intercontinental.
There was a lot of segments on this show.
Yes.
Hey. I think because when I saw like the Raw preview, I think they only had like one match advertised, and the rest was just segments.
No, they had both title matches. They had the tag title, the tag match that opened the show. And they had, there was one other match. The Ray and Logan Paul match was announced Friday on SmackDown. So they had 4 matches advertised before the show started. Actually, all 4 matches were advertised ahead of time. And then the other things were Gunther. So yeah, everything basically was advertised ahead of time because they told us yesterday Gunther, and they told us on Friday Punk would have a promo. So I believe, yeah, actually everything we got was announced ahead of time. Like in spurts, of course. But we're an hour in. We finally got our second match. It's the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Hey, I'm going to say it right now. This match is actually good. Like these two worked well together. To the point, I don't know if this is true. It felt like they probably went to the PC and practiced this match. Not saying that they both suck and need to do that, and that's why it was good, but it felt, well, A, better than I would have expected, and B, these two just worked so well together that it kind of gave me the vibes of they had to have worked this out ahead of time. It wasn't a, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it day of, figure it out, and so forth. It felt like this is something that they've worked on for at least a couple days. So, good match. I thought it was actually really good. Excuse me.
So, I think would be like cool out of all of this.
Huh.
I don't know if this was last week or a week before that, but when they like teased, when they had Ivy and Ivo walk up to Maxine, like in the back, and then after that they had Roxanne Perez walk up to her. I think Roxanne Perez would be the perfect person to take the IC title off of Maxine.
100%. 100%.
I think Roxanne winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship would be the perfect first like singles title on the main roster for her to hold.
Yeah, I think she should. But they're teasing her and somebody, either Liv or Raquel, going for the tag titles together. We'll see how that all plays out because Raquel did not win that women's title tonight, but she has a fair chance of should get a rematch. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. As far as this match does go, the crowd was quiet through just about all of it. They didn't really care for the match. And like I said...
Oh, yeah, would you... I mean, going into it, I didn't care. I was like, really? This is a match?
Yeah, no, because there was no build. It was just Ivy going, I want a title shot. But then we also got that with Raquel Rodriguez as well. Nobody has to earn shit anymore. They just gotta, I want a shot. Okay, sure. It's weird. But I think they over-delivered for what everyone or most would have expected. Dupree applied an arm bar early on, trapping Niall between the ropes, but she lost the grip and Niall slammed her into the apron. Niall then followed with a safe-looking German suplex on the floor and maintained control through a commercial break. Dupree, after the break, mounted a comeback, but Niall ducked a spinning kick and hit a power bomb. Dupree then responded with a sit-out power bomb that didn't look great because you're supposed to land flush, like you come down on your butt as their back takes the bump, and she was just she gave a little too much power on it, and so Ivy's upper back and shoulders hit first, which you're supposed to drop them flush. She hit her a little high. It wasn't perfect, but I mean, that's like one of the only gripes I have in this match. That and all the fucking ways she was getting in and out of the ankle lock. That just felt a little much. So we'll just get to that real fast. So there's a part where they were on the ropes, and then Ivy Niall put her in the Tree of Woe. She kicked her a couple times, whatnot. They were fighting, and then eventually they're on the apron, and then they're fighting to where Maxine goes for the crossbody, but kind of gets rolled through and reversed. And then Maxine puts her in the ankle lock. And this is where I felt like they practiced this match because there were so many different ways that she would get where Ivy would reverse the ankle lock, but then Maxine would get right back into it and then reverse the ankle lock and get back into it. And I feel like this, to a degree, felt a little rehearsed. It felt like they practiced this because of all the like 5 or 6 different ways of the transition out and back into an ankle lock and then out and back into an ankle lock. So this is the part specifically where I thought, I think they worked this match over at the PC or something beforehand. But in the end, Dupree kept putting on the ankle lock. Niall kept countering it. Dupree blocked every attempt to get right back into it. She grapevined the knee, and Niall eventually tapped out in a 10-minute match. But again, like I said, over-delivered what I expected and what probably most expected. What did you think, Luke?
It was a good match. I mean, I had low expectations going into this.
Yep.
I mean, I knew Ivy Nile was not going to win.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think a lot of people knew that. I mean, they wanted Maxine's like first opponent to be someone who people knew she would win against.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Roxanne should be the next challenger and have Roxanne win the IC title off of Maxine, which I don't know if it's going to happen,
So
but I think it should.
do you think they go that route and have somebody take the title off her before Becky gets a rematch? Because they're doing this whole thing on social media with Becky where it's like she's boycotting coming to the show because she felt like she was screwed and she wants a rematch, but not yet. And so that's my thing.
what if they gave Becky a rematch, but AJ Lee screws her again?
I can see that.
Because I don't think she wins the belt again.
At least not right now, no.
Yeah, unless they like had AJ Lee unless AJ Lee calls a disqualification or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So they don't have to make Becky look weak by having her lose against Maxine again, which I know that sounds really mean. Me like dissing Maxine, but I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I mean, I can totally see Becky getting a rematch, but I don't think she wins again.
No, I don't.
Because I think they want to keep having AJ get involved. Maybe I wonder when they do AJ versus Becky in a singles match for the first time. When do you think they do that? The Rumble?
No, I think they're both in the Rumble. May have been Russell Votes that reported that AJ Lee is currently planned to be in the Rumble.
Ooh, I got it. What if AJ eliminates Becky in the Rumble, then then Becky goes in like screws over like AJ and like eliminates her?
100% could see that.
Like let's say like they're outside the ropes, but like on the apron, and then like AJ eliminates Becky, and then Becky gets up and then like grabs AJ and eliminates her.
I can see that for sure.
I wonder who wins the Women's Rumble.
That's a tough one. I have
no clue.
That's a tough one this year.
I mean, like what if Bianca returns and wins it?
I mean, she said that she's finally getting the finger. She's posted something like she did a Q&A on Instagram and said something about the finger is getting fixed. So hopefully she could be cleared in time. But she's been gone May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. She's been gone for like 7-8 months with a broken finger that healed improperly. Crazy.
Wasn't she like a special guest referee at a SummerSlam match? Or no, that was Evolution.
It was Evolution, Naomi, and Jade, I want to say.
Or she just hasn't been back since.
Yeah, because she's not able to have an actual match. It was the match where Naomi worked pregnant, not knowing she was pregnant yet. But
oh geez.
Yeah. She actually worked.
She was world champion during that time.
Yeah, she actually worked like half a dozen or more matches potentially pregnant before she knew she was actually pregnant.
Oh geez, that's bad.
I mean, did you ever hear the story about Saraya and when her mom was pregnant?
What happened?
Saraya's mom Saraya's mom, I don't know if she knew she was pregnant yet or just didn't care, but she worked a match pregnant where someone basically gorilla pressed her over the top rope to the floor while she was pregnant with Paige, Saraya. Early in the pregnancy. Jeez. Yeah. Saraya tells that story all the time in like podcast interviews and stuff. So going forward, we go to the back and young OG. Javon Evans is there with Adam Pearce. And I'm like, please just call this kid up. Please just call him to the main roster. They ain't doing jack diddly with him in NXT. They want you to think he's a top guy and then beat him every time he gets a top guy opportunity. So fuck NXT and Shawn Michaels. Bring this guy to the main roster. Pearce says that he was
every time this guy has Every time this guy has a match for the world title in NXT, he always loses.
Did you know he is 10-0 in title matches in NXT?
That's bad.
Or 0-10, I mean. 0-10. Yeah. He's had 10
Like
title
what?
shots. I don't know if they're all for the NXT title, but he's had 10 title opportunities in NXT and he's lost them all. Because going into the match last week with Obafemi on NXT, they said, can Javon Evans get it done tonight? He's 0-9 in title opportunities. And then he lost, so that makes him 0-10.
Jeez, that's bad.
Elite says he's 21 in young blood. Okay, what does the age have to do with it? Leon Slater's 21 and he's the X Division champion in TNA.
Do you think WWE will try to sign Leon Slater?
Oh, 100%. But I think within the last year he has signed a new deal with TNA. I could be wrong on that. Correct me, chat, if I'm wrong. But I want to say TNA locked him down within the last year. But yes, they're not putting him on Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final show, if they don't want him. They're trying to show him, hey, look what we could do for you. Look what we could do with you. Put you in big match opportunities on big shows. So honestly, TNA or AEW wanted him, and he chose TNA. So now I think WWE is going to try and sign him, A, just to get him because he's great, but A, to keep him away from AEW.
That and like he's really young, and WWE they love like those young wrestlers who are like really well in the ring, especially like Leon Slater. Like he's someone that they don't even have to train.
Nope. Like
they can just throw him in NXT.
Here's how good I think Leon Slater is, and I don't know if this is correct or not. So, at Saturday night's main event, AJ Styles went for a phenomenal forearm and he slipped on the ropes. I don't know if that was the planned spot or not, but I don't think it was. And Leon Slater covered for that so well that that's why I'm not sure if it was a botch spot or not. Because soon as AJ slipped, you see Leon Slater kind of look over and immediately jump on him for the cover, which didn't quite look like a planned spot. But at the same time, Leon Slater is so good that he could have made it look like he was reacting in real time, coming up with something on the fly to cover it up. Regardless, Leon Slater is great, only 21, and got the world ahead of him, just like Javon, which most people don't realize. Javon's been doing this since he was like 16. He's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah. I think we had a few people in the Twitch chat that sent bits.
Yeah, I see a couple here. I just haven't read them yet because we've been talking about other things and whatnot. We were going to get to those in a little bit. Well, I can get to one here. It's eSport Muscle Man says we want to see Luke. We want to see Luke's handsome face. That always gets the ladies. And Luke, who do you think comes to the main roster in 2026 from NXT?
Well, for the first part, I really wish if it was that easy. Trust me, it's rough out there.
Yep.
I won't go into details. I'll tell you after stream. But second part, Trick Williams needs to come up to the main roster.
Here's my question for you on that one. So I keep saying Obafemi's going to be a top guy. Like we saw it on SmackDown. We saw it at Saturday night's main event. They already react to him like he's the top guy. Like this guy should be fighting for the WWE Championship, world title on top. Do you see Trick in that spot, or do you see him? Honestly, in my opinion, I see Trick like if this is the top and this is where the IC title is, I see Trick just barely over that. Maybe in the mix, but never going to win that world title, but win the IC title multiple times. There's just something about Trick, and I don't know if it's because Trick's a good promo, but to me, he feels a little too polished. Like he works at this promo all day for multiple days trying to make it perfect. He comes off just, and maybe it's the way he performs and the voice and the dialect. Like he comes off as, how do I explain it? I don't know how to explain it, but he comes off as like like back in the 70s, when you would see like those movies about going to the disco club and stuff. He sounds like one of those kind of guys. You know what I mean? He's just got this feel to him where like his promos are cool and fun, but they feel like he's playing a character instead of being just him, if that makes sense. And I think
I could see that.
And I think that might limit him just a little bit on the main roster.
I could see it. What about Ricky Saints? Do you think he gets called up?
Eventually, yes. But I think what they need to do is have Ricky win the title back, and then Oba come up well, no, that's not going to happen because Ricky's not. So they're doing the title match at New Year's Evil. It's going to be either Leon Slater, Miles Bourne, or Joe Hendry. I think there's one more, but I can't remember who. But I think Oba should lose the title and come up at the Rumble. Ricky can win that title. Ricky can win the title back whenever. Maybe have Ricky come up after Mania. Let Ricky main event stand and deliver.
Yeah, honestly, I totally forgot about her. But like, what about Jordan Grace? They're not really doing much with her in NXT.
I think they're about to turn her heel in NXT.
Really?
So, yeah. For the things she's been doing, I think they're going to turn her heel. She's been getting more and more frustrated that she's like barely getting opportunities and then getting screwed. So Dion Lennox, thank you, Fonzie. Forgot the bookworm.
I'm trying to think like who from the women gets called up.
JC Jane and Fallon Henley are main roster ready.
Probably just them two for the women.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What about like probably not Sol Ruka. I don't think they're gonna call her up.
I think they're gonna play out whatever they're doing with Zarya first. But the fact that they put her on Saturday night's main event and had her beat Bayley means that she's probably coming up relatively soon, like within the next couple of months.
Yeah, I can see it.
But they gotta.
What about now?
They got to figure out whatever they're doing with Zarya because that storyline keeps going back and forth, wishy washy.
Yeah, I almost said Kalani Jordan.
I don't think she's ready. I don't think she's main roster ready.
No, she's not.
And this is a knock on Sol Ruka as well. She is one of those that needs to work on the match for like 2-3 days before. She needs those overly scripted. We're gonna practice these matches. That's my issue with Kalani Jordan. And so Ruka's kind of like that, but not as much as she used to be. My one criticism of Sol Ruka, and we saw it at Saturday Night's main event, is she needs to tone down the gymnastic stuff. She needs to tone down the cartwheels and the flipping out of moves and stuff because it sometimes just doesn't look believable. Like Bayley had to stand there while Sol Ruka was on the top rope, did basically a cartwheel on the ropes into a DDT while Bayley just had to stand there and wait for it. So, but I think Oba for sure should be coming to the main roster like yesterday. And same with Ethan Page. Ethan Page having the stuff with him and Chelsea Green, phenomenal.
Since Saturday says, what about Lola Vice or Jada Parker?
Neither ready. I don't think either are ready for the main roster. They can be fine on the main roster, but I don't think right now that they'll just get lost in the shuffle right now because they still need more work in NXT. Especially who was the other one? He said Lola Vice and who? Jada Parker? Jada Parker.
Yeah.
Jada Parker. So a lot of people are always like, look at Jada Parker. She always gets great reactions on NXT. Yes. From the same crowd in Florida every week. It's the same people at the show. They like her. But is she really going to resonate on the road? That's my question. That's the big question with a lot of these NXT names. Are they going to resonate on the road in other markets?
Yeah. That's the tricky part about NXT because you just have them like in the same crowd every week and you're like, it's easy to resonate with that same crowd. It's just can you resonate with a different crowd in a different city?
And then you say, oh, well, they go on the road for the PLEs. They go on the road once a month, But it's limited who gets to work those road shows. It's not like they could just throw anybody on there and everybody gets an opportunity to, go to a San Antonio, Texas, like they were for Deadline, I think is San Antonio. And granted, with Deadline, they got more people on that show because it's 5 people in the Deadline matches. But it's like, usually they're limited on who gets those opportunities to work in front of those other crowds. But moving forward, Javon Evans met with Adam Pearce, like I stated. Pearce was impressed with his performance Saturday night's main event. And then they were approached by El Grande Americano, who completely spoke in Spanish. El Grande spoke about Evans being from NXT and was bad-mouthing him, I guess. I don't know Spanish, so I don't know. But he says something and he uses the word perro, and I know that's not a good word. And Evans goes, whoa, wait. I know some of those words, and I know they're not good. So how about we have a fight? And Pearce is like, next week, you want to take on one of them? And Rayo Americano steps up, which I think is Pete Dunne. And so it is official next week. Javon Evans will go one-on-one with Rayo Americano on the holiday edition of Monday Night Raw.
When's Chad Gable supposed to be back?
I have no clue. He's dealing with that injury still.
I thought he was like training at the PC, like almost ready to go.
Well, just because someone's training at the PC doesn't mean they're ready. It just means they're at the point where they can be in a ring again. Because when Randy Orton returned from his injury, he was at the PC like 3 months before he even was ready to return. Because they had Randy in there taking bumps, just seeing how he was and running the ropes and stuff, like early, like 3 months ahead of time. So moving forward, we got the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. Punk, music played. He came straight down to the ring. He grabbed the mic quickly, told them cut the music, and he was ready to talk. He was not in the mood to pander to the crowd, unfortunately. Punk said, I missed the last 2 consecutive weeks of Monday Night Raw because the medical team wouldn't clear me. They wouldn't just not clear me to be here. They wouldn't even clear me to fly. They said, I can't even come to the show. He said, what happened to me at War Games? It hurt, but it wasn't as painful as having to listen to Braun Breaker talk every week. Punk called him a cross-eyed Neanderthal Nepo baby. I'm kind of getting tired of all these second-generation stars being called Nepo babies. Because it's not like this happened back, like when Randy Orton came up, he wasn't called a Nepo baby. Like some may have said, oh, he got the job because of his dad. But that was more fans that knew that his dad called in a favor, kind of. But it's like same with Natty. It's not like everyone was like, oh, Natty only is here because of Brett and her dad and da-da-da. It's like, I just hate now that every second or third generation star is a Nepo baby. A Nepo baby. Charlotte plays it as a joke, but it's like, it's getting a little old. But, called him a Neanderthal Nepo baby. Punk recalled Breaker being mad at him for trying to end his career at War Games. Punk knew brains didn't run well in the Steiner family and reminded him that he didn't sign up to play board games. Punk congratulated him on the win, but said that Breaker had the audacity to claim that it was easy to beat CM Punk, and it's not. Breaker wants the 2011 version of Punk. Well, he can't even handle the 2025 version of CM Punk without help. Breaker got us assistance from a Brock Lesnar F5, Bronson Reed Tsunami, and Drew McIntyre splitting them open. Not to mention a masked man coming out and helping as well. Breaker earned a title match, but he didn't do it alone. Punk has been here many times before. This wasn't the first time. Heyman gassed up a talent too fast, too soon, only to watch him wilt under the bright lights. Punk said if he had a dime for every time someone not as smart as him was gassed up to be the future of WrestleMania and didn't make it, he'd have a pocket full of dimes. Punk then warned Breaker, don't mention my wife ever again, or this will get personal faster than you can run. This wouldn't be able to be this wouldn't be for the belt anymore. And Punk would rip his eyes out of his head and piss on his little single-digit IQ brain. Punk would then challenge Breaker to show up alone and fight him for the belt. but he doesn't think he has the balls to do it alone. Punk invited Breaker to invite the Vision. His dumb father is even dumber father's brother Scott, because, well, he's going to need all the help he needs to beat CM Punk. Punk is going to win, and Heyman will leave Breaker just like he did leave Seth Rollins for the next big thing. Meanwhile, Reed will be forced to do TikToks with the YouTube scammer Logan Paul. All Braun would have left was his Dumb and Dumber family, his father and his uncle. And even with Steiner math, they would realize the GTS equals 1, 2, 3. I thought this was a hell of a promo. What'd you think?
It was one heck of a promo. Do you want to know something? Speaking of like 2011 Punk,
What?
I would always like occasionally like in my free time, I would always go back and listen to those 2011 Punk promos.
Oh, they were great.
One of my favorite ones was like when they had Punk like renegotiating his contract with Vince, and he said,
Mhm.
like, I'll push your buttons all I want, Vince. I'll kick you in the nuts, and you'll sit there and smile and show me respect. And then he
Yeah.
kept saying, like, I had friends who like ceremoniously fired guys like Colt Cabana, guys like Luke Gallows.
And,
Like, you will apologize to them and you will like it.
That stuff was great. Great stuff.
The pipe bomb, the one with Triple H. Like, you're gonna ask your wife permission first.
Where you say something like, you can ask for your balls back out of her purse.
Or he was like, how many times have you said, well, you know, I just don't think he has what it takes while you're lying in bed with your wife?
Great stuff. Great stuff. But as we move forward, Judgment Day met backstage.
Do you think 2011 Punk was probably the best version of Punk? Or which
11.
version of Punk do you think was the best?
Oh, the best? Ooh. So, like, last run in ROH Punk was phenomenal. When they did that Summer of Punk. When basically his whole storyline there was, I've signed with WWE, I'm leaving soon. That stuff was phenomenal. Some of the stuff he did with Raven was like so good.
In ECW?
You know, in like ROH and on the indies.
Oh.
Because he had a whole storyline that was like him and Raven that culminated in a Clockwork Orange cage, like a weapons cage match, dog collar weapons cage match, actually, in ROH. But they took this feud international. And I remember seeing one of the first times I ever saw CM Punk was like a match in Germany, maybe. It was him and Raven. And before the match, CM Punk went out into the lobby of the building where they were selling merch and stuff and was just yelling at the fans saying, I'm better than all of you. I'm better than Raven. I'm not a drunk. I'm better than my family, my father. They all drink alcohol and are losers, but I'm straight edge and I'm better than everybody. Like, it was freaking great. And that was one of the first times I ever saw CM Punk.
What about his feud with Jeff Hardy in 2009?
That stuff was really good. I don't know if I would say that was the best Punk because I thought he got better after that. But that was what I think solidified him as a top guy in WWE, where it's like, oh yeah, this is a world champion. This guy is going to stay up here.
I feel like what really killed that momentum when they made him like when they started the Straight Edge Society, because I like a lot of people thought it was cool. I thought Straight Edge Society was kind of bland.
It was okay.
It was okay. Like
I just felt like
look,
they had an idea and they never fully fleshed it out, is what it felt like.
it was just the people around him. Like Luke Gallows didn't really do much. Serena D was like one of the least straight edge people out there.
Well, that was the whole
Then
point.
Joey Mercury.
That was the point. She was supposed to be a non-straight edge person that he was trying to convert. That's why she shaved her head.
Then I don't know if this happened or not, but like apparently in real life, like they caught her like not being straight edge, not fulfilling her gimmick, and that's why they released her. Then like Joey Mercury got suspended for something, so that's why they killed the group.
I've heard that. I just, like you said, don't know how true it actually is, but I had heard that over the years. Yeah.
That's why we didn't see them two on TV
Yeah.
for a while. And they just ended up killing the group.
Yep. But like when he was feuding with Ray at that time, when he was wearing the mask, I thought that was some great work. I thought he was a
Ray
great
hair.
He was a great heel then.
Oh yeah. Then after that, they made him the leader of the Nexus.
Yeah, that was kind of a down point. At least in my
Did you
opinion.
apparently did you hear Otunga's interview with Van Vliet? I don't know if he said this or not, but he said like originally it was supposed to be Otunga being the leader of that new Nexus.
I don't listen to any of the Otunga stuff because like I've seen heard some of it and it just all sounds kind of preposterous. I feel like Otunga feels like to me someone out there looking for attention. So I just don't even listen to any of it.
Apparently, he said in an interview with Chris Van Vliet they were supposed to make him the new leader, the leader of the new Nexus, while Wade Barrett was doing the core. But I guess they decided to make Punk the leader of the new Nexus because they felt like oh, the straight edge society is done, so Punk needs a new faction.
Yeah, see that I don't know. I didn't hear any of that. But he's also got his own YouTube channel where he posts videos and stuff, trying to be the next Maven or Devon or something.
Probably just the next Maven.
I mean, Maven's shown a lot of wrestlers, hey, you can make a good living talking about the past. Like there were wrestlers that's been doing it since before Maven. Really, the first one to do it was Colt Cabana and then the Hurricane. They were the first like wrestlers to start podcasts. But Maven was the first one to like really, really take off on YouTube. Now we got so many. Ken Kennedy's got one, and Mr. Anderson. Now Otunga's got his, and Stevie Richards has his. Devon's got one. There's just everybody's trying to start one. Undertaker had his for a while till WWE took it over. So
I don't know. Ken Anderson, I don't really listen to his stuff.
I only saw his recently because he was on Maven's channel. And so I was like, oh, let's see Maven on his podcast, what Maven has to say there. They actually had a good conversation on Kennedy's podcast, him and Maven.
My favorite one was when Maven had Shelton Benjamin on his, and they were talking about that ROH spot with Maria.
Yeah, that was good. I always watch the Maven stuff. They even had Russo on recently, like in the last couple of weeks.
Vince Russo?
Yep.
I know Vince Russo has a podcast as well.
Oh, he's had that thing for like a decade. Russo's
Is that
had
all
his,
he does now?
Russo's had his Russo. Well, no, Russo's had his Russo brand for a long time. No, Russo is now basically in charge of creative for Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
I'd never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's owned by one of the guys from ICP. But
yeah,
shows
you how much of an impact that guy made recently.
Yeah. So Judgment Day met backstage. Okay. Judgment Day met backstage. Dom was excited for the women's title match tonight. He called it the main event, even though it wasn't the main event. Liv said that they're all happy that Christmas is coming early. I wonder where Finn was. And he's like, oh, he's out with JD. You're going to be gone for a while. And so if you guys didn't see, JD McDonough had some sort of surgery today. JD McDonough posted a video, or not a video, but a Instagram story, I think it was, and basically said he's been working through an injury and now he's finally taking some time off to get it fixed. Didn't state what it was, but then showed his like arm from like here up, all wrapped up. So I don't know if it's a wrist issue, a thumb issue, or what, but he needed to have surgery on something. And I did see we had a super chat here from Donald Walio. I hope I say that right. What happened to JD? Thank you for the super chat, but we don't know. Like, we didn't know that JD was even hurt. And then apparently, Damian Priest revealed that the company's putting him on a reduced schedule because he's working through some injuries. And I wonder, I've noticed that he's kind of bulked up recently. I wonder if there's an issue where he can't train as hard. And so he's just put on a little weight from not being able to be in the gym. Because I've noticed over the last like 3 to 4 weeks, I'm like, Priest gained weight, or has he just put on some muscle? Because he's kind of gotten a little thicker. But I think maybe he's working through some stuff that he can't train as hard. I don't know. Because he said before that, you know, his weight fluctuates and he's got to deal with that. But we do have some more bit donations here. Well, first of all, let's finish the Judgment Day segment. Morgan approached Raquel Rodriguez, says she's excited for her to become the champion later. And Rodriguez was like, hey, I'm excited, but I don't want you guys to come down to the ring with me. I think I got this. And so Liv kind of looks at her like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And she goes, okay. So she goes to leave. And Liv looks at Roxanne and goes, all right, we going to win them tag titles too? So we'll see. But we do have some bit donations here. Esports Gaming, excuse me. Esports Gaming Rule says, we thought Triple H is going to come out to have Gunther in the ring and then turn heel as an authority figure. Who thought that? People thought that was going to happen. Who thought that? Esports Gaming Rules. I didn't hear a single person state that Triple H is going to become the authority again with Gunther. I think that's a bad idea, and I didn't see anybody predict that. But I'll finish what he says.
I mean,
Go for it.
What if that did happen? Do you think that would be a good idea? Just
No.
make Gunther like the new Seth Rollins.
No, because Gunther doesn't need to be under anybody. Gunther needs to be his own man, beating people's ass. But he
do
says,
you think one day, like, I actually do have a question real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
What if, like, down the line, like in a year or two, like there was like a new guy from NXT like coming up who like WWE thinks is gonna be like a next big star, and they made him a heel and they like brought back the authority of Triple H, this guy, maybe somebody else.
I don't think it's needed. I don't think we did that in 2014, 2015. We don't need that anymore.
Well, technically it ran from like 2014, 2016.
Yeah, true.
Like the authority, like it basically like ended after Triple H lost the world title to Roman at Mania.
Oh yeah, you're true. You're right. I forgot that was 16.
That's when the authority like technically like ended.
Yeah, because that was after WrestleMania 31 when Triple H fought Sting. I always think it was like right around the Sting stuff was when it ended, but no, you're right.
No, it kept going because Seth was world champion.
Yeah.
It kept doing the authority stuff on TV, but I guess it started like slowly dying because Kane got hurt and they like took him out of the authority. They took J&J away. So all there really was Seth and Triple H and Stephanie.
Yep.
I can't remember why Big Show left. I think Big Show just left on his own.
Well, I think Big Show was never actually. Big Show wasn't Big Show like in the authority because he needed money and so he needed to work for them to make extra income or something. There was one of those stupid storylines. Remember Stephanie like slapped him across the face?
It was that, and then like after that Survivor Series where he turned on Cena,
yeah,
he like technically joined the authority as that time as a full on heel.
That's all kind of a blur.
And then yeah, I guess he probably just left on his own.
Yeah, I just don't.
After
I don't think we need, at least not right now, in the era they're in of trying to make it feel more real. I don't think we need a heel authority group. We've got our general managers; they're doing phenomenal. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, and we're good to go. Also, speaking of Nick Aldis, and I know I'm getting off topic here for a second, watching Gunther face John Cena made me think of something. If they would have signed just like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, if we could have got a Nick Aldis Gunther match, how freaking great would that have been as just your old school style, like old school 80s NWA top guy match? How great would that have been? Nick Aldis versus Gunther. Babyface Nick Aldis, heel Gunther. That match would have been so good. I don't know why I thought about that today, but I just started thinking about that earlier.
That would have been great, actually.
But Esports Game Rules finishes off by saying heel authority figure and now WWE superstars and authority figures turn on Gunther and Gunther as a mega heel and Triple H, maybe John Cena booked Gunther for a big 2026 as a new legend killer. Yeah, you're all over the place with that one, Esports Gaming Rules. None of that really makes sense. What do you mean by Cena books Gunther? I don't really understand that, other than Gunther doesn't need to be under anybody. Gunther is anti-authority, basically. He's the heel that does what he wants and doesn't care what an authority figure has to say. He's going to go out there and do whatever the hell he wants. He also says, my Spectrum internet was acting up because Cincinnati had a big snowstorm in the weekend. And did you watch the Heisman ceremony? No. I watch college football to an extent of we follow Fresno State and we follow Texas Longhorns. Other than that, don't follow too much college football. But I did see the guy from Indiana did win the Heisman. Do you follow college football, Luke?
Not really, no.
Yeah. And then he also said, actually, I'm going to save this one because it has to do with the masked man. We're going to save this one. His other super chat or bit donation. So moving forward, we have the women's world title on the line. This match went like 8 minutes, and I have a paragraph and a half, if that. Nothing fucking happened in this match. So they go for like 2-3 minutes, and we go to a break. And literally, I wrote, they went 2-3 minutes, and we went to a break. I got nothing here. The crowd was quiet until Vakir finally hit the devil's kiss. They didn't care for this match at all. Rodriguez then made a comeback with a clothesline before they both kind of slipped to the outside. Fighting on the outside, and out of nowhere, Nikki Bella shows up. She appears, attacks Vakir. They call for the DQ. Bella lays her out, hits her with the Rack Attack 2.0, and there we go. That's literally all I wrote about this 8.5 minute match. It was not all that great. I was bored and didn't find anything of note that happened at all other than, hey, she hit the devil's kiss. Nikki interfered. What'd you think?
Yeah, it wasn't all that great.
To me, it felt like let's just get through this because we're doing something else and we don't want to give too much away in this match. So I don't know if we're going to just get Stephanie and Raquel again or if we get a triple threat with Stephanie, Raquel, and Nikki.
We'll probably get another Stephanie and Nikki match.
Maybe. So moving forward, Pierce wanted Heyman to tell him who the masked man was, and Heyman's like, I don't know. I don't know who the masked man is. He's like, it could be Seth Rollins. It could be Becky Lynch. It could be Nick Aldis. Hell, it could be Bruno Sammartino. I laughed so hard at that one. You're talking to a dead guy. Heyman then left.
That's crazy.
Heyman then left because he wanted to go make sure Logan was ready to face Ray. Pierce is like, I want to know who the masked man is by the end of the night, Paul. Heyman left. Ripley then approached Pierce and was like, I want Asuka. Give me the match. And he goes, all right, you can have her next week. So speaking of next week, we'll get to that in a minute, actually. Punk approached Rey Mysterio backstage and told him, hey, I got your back tonight if you need it. And Rey said, I appreciate it. He goes, I know the vision could be. And they work in numbers. Jackie Redmond then asked AJ Styles and Dragon Lee about the throwback match with the New Day and the Usos today. And I'm like, throwback? Throwback to what? Like 4 years ago? Okay, sure. Styles appreciated their rivalry, but he said, we're the champions. We're the ones that are the focus, and we'll face any team at any time. We're going to go talk to Pierce about our next defense. Nikki Bella then approached and basically just said some stuff. She said, I'm not going to apologize for what I did. I'm the legend that needs to get the respect. I put women's wrestling on the map for these women, and I'm sick of no one ever agreeing that I paved the way. And I'm like, you didn't pave the way. Trish and Lita paved the way, and then you just kind of didn't kill it, to be completely honest. She said,
basically,
Stephanie and Raquel should be polishing my boots. And I get it. She's a heel now. She's going to say that kind of stuff. But it's like that era, the Divas title era, AJ Lee did more for this division than the Bellas. The Bellas kind of helped mainstream wise because Total Divas and Total Bellas. So that is a thing. But in the ring, it was women like Saraya Page and AJ Lee. Speaking of next week, though, we got 3 matches announced. Bayley versus Roxanne Perez, Javon Evans versus Rayo Americano, and Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Speaking of Bayley.
How much longer?
Go for it.
Man, Rayo. Which one's Rayo? Is that Pete Dunne?
I think it's Pete Dunne, yes.
Oh man, I love Pete Dunne, man. I wish they would stop with this. Him and Tyler Bate. I wish they'd bring them back to old Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate.
Yeah, it is pretty dumb. But
Sure. I mean,
go for it.
what would be cool? What I mean, we all know. Like, what if? Like, I would really love to see a Ludwig, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate stable. Like, if it was just them three
I would
as
love that
themselves.
too. I would love that too. I think that would be
Like,
actually really good.
that'd be a really cool stable. Have Ludwig be the main guy, and then Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as a tag team.
You know, it'd be even
I think
funnier.
that'd be
You know what would
what
be a funny thing is if they do have them three show up as themselves, but then they still do the Americano stuff. So they're doing both. But you never see them all at the same time, just like when we saw the original El Grande. You never saw him and Chad Gable at the same time.
true.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting what they do. I am very interested in how they play this out once Gable's ready to come back. That is something that I actually am interested in seeing how they book this. Because Gable was fine in the role, but Ludwig has made it his own in a great way.
Oh yeah,
He's one of
I
those
agree.
guys. He's one of those guys that kind of got an opportunity that most would have thought was shit and turned it into like something phenomenal for himself. So Bailey was in the back. She congratulated Maxine Dupree on retaining the title. Dupree said that it meant the world to have someone like Bailey congratulate her. She showed off her bloody finger. She said, I might have lost a nail, but I could go take care of that. Lyra then shows up, and Bailey admitted that she didn't feel great in losing to Soruka, especially somebody much less experienced than her. I'm like, damn. I don't even think she actually said Soruka's name. She's like, it hurts to lose to somebody so less experienced than me. And I'm like, damn. Bailey over here is just shitting on Soruka. Bailey then wondered if there was truth what Asuka said about her not being the same and not being as good anymore. But Kyria was like, excuse me? No. The only idiot here is you. And she shoves Bailey. Bailey gets all pissed off and shoves her back and says, excuse me, you're the idiot. And she says, I'm gonna show everybody and destroy Roxanne next week. And Lyra was just like, all right, there we go. This is the Bailey I need. Very interesting stuff here, but I am entertained by it. What do you think of this Bailey Lyra stuff? You seen enough of it to realize what's going on?
I don't know enough of it.
Okay, so the short and dirty of it is they tried to do a split personality thing with Bailey, to where at sometimes she's just a super dick and almost heel, and then at other times she's just like super happy go lucky, almost hugger Bailey. And it was kind of working, but not really working because they weren't really sure on how. Like, I felt like they weren't sure on the direction they wanted to go with it. And so they kind of changed it up a little bit to where now what happens is Bailey is great Bailey, and she's always got Lyra at her side, and they're doing things together and whatever. But then sometimes Bailey loses her confidence. And so Lyra has to like talk shit to her to rile her up. And then Bailey goes into like other personality. I'm pissed off now, Bailey, or like get her confidence back kind of thing, if that makes sense. She's got to piss Bailey off and talk trash to her to like rile her back up and be like, no. You think you're an idiot? Maybe you are a fucking idiot. Or just use the F word, of course, but it's like, oh, you think you suck? Well, maybe you do suck. Show me that you don't or whatever. And then Bailey's like, oh, I don't really suck. Don't say that. And so, yeah, it's weird, but it's actually kind of working. Better than how they started it.
I mean, seems like it'd be a good idea. I mean, has it been working?
Ish. It didn't click at first, but when they toned it down, because they went too hard into like jumping the personalities. And so now they've toned it down and it's working a lot better. It was one of those stories. It was one of those character changes where it's like, we have an idea, but we're not sure how it's going to work on TV. So we're just going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
So basically, they don't really have a lot for Bailey right now.
Yes and no. But yeah, kind of.
Do you think Bailey kind of reached her peak in WWE? Like she's done so much to where they're struggling to figure out what to do with her.
Not struggling per se. And I don't know if maybe this is a Bailey call or not. I think Bailey wants to help, as we saw with the Lodestone clinic thing she did. I think Bailey's now coming to the point where she wants to help the next crop of women. So it's more of, yeah, if they want to give her opportunities and title shots and this, that, she'll take it and do it. But at the same time, she's essentially maybe not against helping get the next crop ready. Now, whatever that means going forward when her contract comes up, if she wants to stay, go, or whatnot, I don't know. But the way she talks and makes it seem is she's cool with the role that she's in. Being with Lyra, being in the mix for things, but more of, hey, Bailey's the vet that everyone can learn from. Which is true, because Bailey can do it all. And if you want to learn from somebody, there may not be a better woman in that company other than maybe Natty to learn from right now. So moving forward, we did have our main event, Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. These two really good together, just like we've seen in the past. Really good together. So Rey played cat and mouse early on with Logan, trying to bait him outside of the ring. They went back and forth early on before Rey hit a seated senton off the apron. Logan then took over during a break after shoving him into the barricade. Logan then tried a Bronco Buster of sorts during the break, but he just kind of sat with his crotch in Rey's face, which was kind of awkward. Logan then went to the top rope, but Rey cut him off with 10 punches and a Hurricanrana for a 2. Rey tried a springboard moonsault, but Logan caught him and hit a running power slam for a 2. Rey tried to go for the 619, but Logan hit an ill-timed boot to cut Rey off, followed by the Three Amigos. Instead of hitting the third one, though, Logan placed Rey on the top rope. Rey fought him off and hit a sunset flip powerbomb. Logan spilled to the outside, and Rey hit a sliding splash. Then the Brawns come out. Punk immediately runs out behind them with a chair. He attacks them with the chair and chases them to the back, trying to help Rey not get triple teamed, I guess you would say. Rey then caught Logan in a crucifix bomb, got a near fall off of it. Logan blocked a Hurricanrana attempt and hit an alley-oop facebuster. Heyman then handed Logan the brass knuckles as the referee was checking on Rey. However, Rey tripped up Logan before he can use them and hit the 619. Logan then dropped the brass knucks, and Rey grabbed them, considered to use them. Rey grabbed them and placed them on his hand, but then he kind of just didn't do much with it because he was attacked by the masked man. I didn't see what. Did you notice what the ref was doing at this point? Because like the masked man comes in, attacks Rey, but what was the ref?
The ref was just looking at Logan Paul, just checking up on us, like, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like, where the hell's the ref? Anyways, Logan notices all of this after Rey took the curb stomp, goes to the top, hits the frog splash, and pins Rey in a 15-minute match. Pretty good match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good, solid Raw main event. What did you think of the match before we get to the post-match?
I agree. I thought it was a good match. I mean, we all knew Logan Paul was going to win.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was a good match.
So the masked man kind of stands there and goes face to face with Logan for a second before running out into the crowd when he saw Punk come down. Punk stood on the turnbuckle as the camera focused on the masked man. He pulls his hood off, he pulls the ski mask off, and poof, Austin Theory. No real big reaction because everyone kind of expected it.
Austin Theory with the shaved head.
It was kind of an okay crowd, if I'm going to be honest tonight. It wasn't the greatest of crowds in Hershey.
I think a lot of people already knew it was Austin Theory because it was rumored to be him, and they could tell like his eyes.
Well, so here's the thing: when I saw just the eyes, I don't know why, but my brain went, "Is that the Miz?" for like a half a second. Punk stood on the turnbuckle, like I stated. Punk was then dropped from the ropes and hit by a spear from Braun Breaker. Breaker grabbed the world title and stood over CM Punk as the camera zooms out and we see Braun Breaker standing in the ring, but up here over his shoulder, Austin Theory standing in the crowd, standing on the steps. Crowd kind of booing, but not really reacting. Again, it wasn't the greatest of crowds outside the Gunther stuff. And that's how the show goes off the air with Braun Breaker holding that title high. So overall, not a bad Raw. I thought it just flew by. It was 2 hours and like 25, 26 minutes. I thought it was a good Raw.
Oh yeah, definitely flew by. I mean, I want to know like how they're gonna view like how they're gonna go about of Austin Theory being in this group now.
What do you mean? You were kind of cut out for
Like,
a second.
so I really want to know how they go about having Austin Theory in this group.
Oh, well, I think he's just going to be another member of the group. Just like they slid Logan in, they're going to slide Austin in. Remember, Heyman's been very big on Austin Theory for years now. Heyman's wanted to work with Austin Theory for a while. So this is not like a shock or anything.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I wonder how they'll do it like on TV. Are they gonna have like Braun Breaker be like, "I'm not okay with Austin Theory being here"?
Other question. Remember, Adam Pearce kept asking Heyman last week and this week, who's the masked man? And Heyman would say, I don't know. So are we going to reveal it that Heyman did know and was lying to everybody, or that he didn't know? I don't know. That's the other question. But Esports Gaming Rules just have a bit donation here. He says, we knew Austin Theory's the masked man and joined the Vision, and everyone thinks Triple H, quote, hates him because he a Vince McMahon guy. But now Triple H gives Austin Theory a second chance. Again, you're saying...
Okay. Oh.
Go for it.
I don't think. I wouldn't go that far, but like, because remember, like when Triple H took over, like he still used Austin Theory pretty well.
Yeah.
Like remember, he beat John Cena at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Then he won the tag titles with Grayson Waller as 8-Town Down Under. Then, I mean, he still used that tag team for a while until like they kind of reached their peak for a little bit. And then
Austin Theory
got hurt.
Yeah. Here's my thing, and this is not a knock on Esports Gaming Rules, but he keeps using everybody thinks. Everyone thinks, and then it has a statement here. But he's saying things that I haven't heard anybody else say. So it's like here where he says, everyone thinks Triple H, quote, hates him because he's a Vince guy. I've literally never heard one person say that. And then he's like, we all thought Triple H is going to come out and have Gunther in the ring and have the do the authority figure thing. I'm like, we all who? I haven't heard anybody speculate or predict that either. So it's like, I don't know. But overall, not a bad Raw. Pretty good Raw, actually. I enjoyed it. With that, you got any final things to say as I refresh the polls, Luke?
Glad to be back after graduation.
Right. All right. So as far as the threads poll does go, 54% liked the show, 38% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 50% liked the show, 40% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. The community poll, 73% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. And finally, as far as the live poll does go, 72% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. We've gone extra long here. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. So with that, hope you guys have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. I'll be back live on Wednesday playing Spider-Man and watching AEW Dynamite. We're getting close to the end of Spider-Man. We got to figure out a new game to play on Wednesdays, which I think I know what we're going to play. So we'll see how that all does go. Again, we're getting close to the end of Spider-Man. So have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. See you next time. Have a good one, guys.